Why? How does she? Is this the inside of your dreams or your subconscious? Why is that the first thing she comes up with? In her time hanging out with Neuroxin while we were gone getting huge materia, she appears to have lost her mind. What do? We talk to people. It's Final Fantasy, talk to things. What if it was all a lie? Most curious indeed. I like the rendition of Nibelheim back there as well. Nice touch, Kane. Basically just took a screenshot of an earlier part that you already showed us, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Hut hut. Kinda, that little sequence thing kinda broke there a little bit, but whatever. Look, Neuroxin, it's exactly the same as the other 70 times we've been here. It even has a well and a pole. She looked at the pole and said, Gramps Inn. It's not a very good inn. This cutscene just began, Moomin, so don't even... I hope you got multiple cups of tea to prepare for that. A young and vibrant soldier. Who is the young and vibrant soldier? Not actually him, but hey, he can teleport. Like how he shifts to look at things, but his head is in the wrong position to actually look at things. We've already seen this, but we get to see it again. Hooray! There may be a point where I simply stop talking because I'm probably eating something, just so you all know. Although some people really like telling me to shut up and stop talking, despite the fact that they are the one who clicked on a Let's Play. I swear. Some people are silly. If you click on a Let's Play and you tell someone in the Let's Play to shut up and stop talking, you're kind of ruining your argument by being on a Let's Play video. That's what they're for. Look at him, man, he's got pointy hair. Look at him, you're standing inside of him and you both have pointy hair. So it's all Akasha's fault. She hid stuff, and now Neuroxin went insane because she never told him. Zack was his name. He had black hair, both spiky. He also had the Buster Sword, but hey, Buster Swords, those are common, right? No, there's only one. Hello, Zack. Goodbye, Zack. Apparently we don't get to see him this time. The plot thickens, except not really, because I'm pretty sure I already explained all that to you anyway, but whatever. I was a little bit preemptive on the explaining. We'll get to listen to it again. When she said slowly, she didn't mean to literally sit down that slowly. We have things to do and other people to talk to. Hello. It's like marmalade. Goddamn plot, why is it so thick? It's so thick, it's so thick. I am no longer capable of saying S's. Apparently, despite the fact that I just said S and then failed to say despite. Good job, me. Whoa! 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 Well, that's a little unusual there, isn't it? What the heck was going on there? Apparently the emulator didn't like whatever sort of fade was going on there. Apologies. You didn't really miss anything, it was just shifting the camera sideways. Pretty much the same as it did before. I don't know why it freaked out that time, if it worked perfectly the first time, but whatever. Right, I was wearing clothes, surprisingly. It's very, very rare that she actually wears clothes. Excuse me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a nap. I'll meet you guys back when this is done. We're like halfway through the cutscene. Are you all excited? It's not really a cutscene, story sequence, I guess. Oop, 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 oop. This goes to her room where you stole her panties, played her piano. Oh, it's gonna glitch out the thing again. I don't know why it does that. Apologies. Apart from the whole seizuring thing, you can kinda get what's going on. You went in the window and now we're in here. Hooray. It's like magic. So magical, in fact, that it breaks the freaking video. Hooray. Breaks the video so much, it's like we're on drugs. It fits the whole thing. We're inside his conscious and we're on drugs. Hooray. Suddenly white. Suddenly Akasha being harassed by people. She appears to be being bullied or some other innuendo by 3 men in her room. Most curious indeed. It always used to be with this threesome. Kasha's a busy little girl, it turns out. We were children, you're supposed to be childish. That's how things work. I keep yawning. Also, he's having a small seizure over there and making duplicates of himself. That's quite the skill he has. Except for the flashing seizure thing that's going on. It's true that we weren't that close, and I never really talked to you, but hey! I fell in love despite the fact I knew nothing about you. It's like online dating, except worse, because you never even talk to each other. Also, apologies, I keep yawning. I should probably just mute the microphone and yawn for the next 30 minutes. This is a very sleepy thing. It's very long and the music's very repetitive. Oh well. They really could have just trimmed this down. Mainly because half of this we've technically already been told. It just wants to reiterate all of it now in a more formal fashion. At least the music changed, that's the thing. How about those that died? Did they pass through? Well, he just said no one passes through alive, didn't he? They're dead. You know, that would imply they did not pass through alive. It's generally how these things work. But hey. Apparently she is the leader of the group. Set for those two? Well, he's going. He's not. That guy's wussing out. He's not cool with that. He's probably the only smart one in that group. Everyone dies on this mountain. Hey, let's go through it. Makes perfect sense. Man, this music's even more, like, sleepy. Good lord. He appears to be blinking. Why are you blinking? Oh, I need to move. You fell off a cliff. You fell off a cliff and only scar- How did you do that? You just fall off a cliff and scar your knees? That seems like something that might be a bit more painful. He didn't bring her. he followed. But no one will know the truth because they're children and children don't tell things. That's actually the first time Akasha's in a coma for 7 days. She actually gets in a coma for 7 days twice in this storyline. Although in order of playing the game, it's actually the second time, but whatever. Oh, you people's obsession with bacon is, good lord. Everyone might leave me alone and sell me marmalade. Who doesn't want to be sold marmalade? Sorry, Neuroxen, I was busy trying to climb a mountain and fall off cliffs. I was a bit busy. Your knowledge of bacon is purely theoretical. I suppose so. Seriously, this sequence. Yes, Oliver. We're not done. You may as well, you know, go cook dinner or something. We'll probably be able to cook a dinner in 30 minutes before we're done, so... Let's go back to Nibbles! Nibble! By going back to Nibble... Whoa. We can nibble things. I don't know what he's on about. Whee! We're back in Nibble! With a slightly more whole cloud. Slightly less insane. Hooray! Insanity's fun, but it doesn't work well in the long run. Also, Dat side-by-side running. For dramatic effect. To the reactor! He's awfully confident for someone who had no idea where he was going 10 seconds ago. Where are you going? Oh, well, the reactor? Maybe? I was just kind of running. Wee metaphors. Wee Tifa somehow not dying despite the fact she was literally cleaved in half by a freaking sword. And yes, Zack is the one who goes here. Hooray! The door closed before he walked through it. I thought it was supposed to already be closed and then open when he walked through it, but apparently it's closed and now everyone's just gonna fuse through it. Perfect sense. Or maybe it's open and everything in there is just metallic, I don't know. Where was Neuroxen? That's a good question. Neuroxen was actually there. And if you watched the Last Order anime from Square Enix, you would know this. Cloud is a grunt. Cloud is specifically that grunt. You really should watch Last Order, by the way. It's only like, I think it's what, maybe 20 minutes or something like that? And it explains this whole scene. Pretty much that, except more detail. I don't remember if they show the entire thing here that they showed in Last Order. I think they might. We're about to find out anyway, so hey! Also, how did he keep his hair in there still spiky? I don't understand how that works. That spike is bigger than his helmet was. I don't really understand how he kept it in there in that kind of shape, but whatever. Oh, it doesn't appear they actually show the whole sequence. At least not yet. If you recall, that guard never actually says anything. Hence why she didn't actually know it was him. And by never says anything, I mean he never says anything when Tifa's there, is what I meant. I believe he does actually say "Borg" when he's inside that train, or the truck, or something along those lines. Don't remember exactly what he says. He says something along the lines of he's not feeling good or something. I can't really remember. Quickly, hide your face. Somehow stuffing his hair in there. Seriously. I'm curious how Tifa didn't notice him there. I mean, literally, people walked up and stood next to her. You think she would look up before he managed to put his helmet on, but I guess not. Are they going to show the rest of that little scene where he stabs Sephiroth, or no? It would appear they're not, so go watch Last Order so you can see the whole thing. I think it might also get shown in Crisis Core, for that matter. Not sure, though. I've never actually beaten Crisis Core, and it's been so long since I played it, I don't actually remember what goes on. Although Zack is the character for that, so I imagine it might be an important part of the story. But who am I? Not Square, I can tell you that much. I think in Last Order he actually carries her over there before he stabs Sephiroth. Or does he? I don't remember, whatever. I'm trying to remember things and it never works. Also, he steals Genova's head. Just carries it around with him for funsies. Look, I have a head. Notice it. I'll hold it there for a little bit so you notice it. He's already left the building, man. Also, I'm not entirely sure what he thinks Cloud's gonna be able to do to him, but... I mean, it is Sephiroth. You did just cleave two people in half, basically. They do show it. It's slightly different in Last Order, but... they do actually show him getting stabbed. You gotta think that's incredibly painful, especially when he starts wiggling it like that, which I don't think he's actually supposed to wiggle like that, but... I mean, he's got a sword in him, and he does that. Just think how painful that has to be. Especially since it's not really a stabby-stab sword, it does have a sharp edge on it. That sharp edge is inside of his torso. Yeah, it's a bit painful. But hey, stabby stab swords. Hello, Ian. You just got here to see stabby stab. That's the best kind of stab. Not just any stab, stabby stab. Hey, back to this. We're still not done. Until we meet again. Which will never occur because I don't exist, theoretically. Quick, I'll hold my hand up, you all fuse into me. Because that's what happens when people's consciousness, I guess, I don't know. This is a weird sequence. They also make different button press sounds when they go in there, it's a little weird. And ear-piercing ringing sound, because hey! Actually having tinnitus isn't this bad. Stop with the ringing, man. Although it does sound that bad when you start passing out. Point that out. Well, technically there's multiple Final Fantasy, but for the most part, until 10-2, none of them had anything to do with each other, so they were literally just separate things. And then they made a sequel to 10, which was 10-2, which wasn't all that good. So that kind of ruined that whole thing. And it's no longer Final Fantasy because now there's a sequel to it. And then they're making 13-2, for God knows why. Just money, I guess, I don't know. They become too lazy to come up with a new storyline every game, so they're just gonna make sequels to every other one now. And I don't think 11 or 14 are tied to any of the other ones. I haven't played either of them, so I'm not actually sure. Both of those are MMOs, just if you're unaware. Voice there, their voice. Hooray! No and no, Ian. Yes, we're in the live stream, you derfus. Where did you think you were? You were in the live stream like an hour and a half ago. You haven't gone anywhere. Except for into his conscious somehow. Not really sure how that works still, but hey, we're flying! Because flying. 13-2 came out because loads of people complained about it not having enough character development and focusing more on storyline. 13 was kind of bad. So making 13-2 to remedy 13 being kind of bad is kind of silly because everyone thinks 13's bad, so they'll be like, why should I buy 13-2? They should have just made 14 and everyone would be like, hey, a new Final Fantasy that has nothing to do with the last one that everyone said was bad. Let's buy it. Although that would have required them to make new characters and stuff and basically abandon 13, but, you know, I don't think anyone really cared. Or sorry, not 14. 14 is MMO, 15. And 14 was horrible as well. They're actually gonna start holding betas for the re-release of 14. Which I've signed up for. I would like to get in on that because I really want 14 to be good. So we'll see if I actually get into that. It'll be under NDA, so I won't be able to say anything anyway. Curse you, NDA! Also, look at that. Doesn't that look like water? That's the live stream, isn't it? Looks like water. How are they down there? I don't understand. Yeah, they're re-releasing 14 under a new realm, I believe is what the title of it is, the extended title. So, yeah. 14 wasn't released before 13, but it did go into beta before 13 was released. That tends to be how that works. PC games have betas. So do console games, but console games don't have, you know, public betas, if you will. They basically have in-house testing for that crap, and 13 had been under development for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, the early versions of 13 look radically different than what it looked like now, so... Go look up, I don't remember his name, actually. I've liked a couple of his videos. It's Yuri something? Yuri of something, I believe. And he does a bunch of, like, he showcases betas and early development of a bunch of different games and stuff like that. Go look at that! Hooray! He's like Sephiroth, except not like Sephiroth. The combination of Genova's selves, Sephiroth's will, and my own weakness are apparently what created him. Yeah, Final Fantasy 1 and 2 were actually kind of bad. Admittedly, they were released a billion decades ago, but, you know. This scene could use some music, I'd like to point out. This is one of those scenes that kind of, music would be nice. One of these is wrong, you might notice. Two of them are exactly the same, one of them is completely different. And I don't know who says the one that's completely different. I think it might actually be Barrett. Given how the boxes are laid out, I think it might be Barrett that says the entirely wrong thing. But hey, he tried. School is boring. School is boring, and if you're in the US, school is basically worthless. So now Neuroxen's back, the only one in the party. Oh, Neuroxen! Oi, I just talked to you, what do you want? No one knows when fighting will begin, but I'll ignore you until you move slightly out of the room in which to help you. Jezzer is dead still. He was dead during that entire sequence, apparently. Hooray! All Final Fantasy is about anti-religion. So we'll slap you in there, we'll slap you in there. Can't swap him out now. Righty-ho! If you haven't watched that video I liked, again, seems to be a common thing with me liking videos, from Game Theory about religion in Final Fantasy games. Indeed, you should go watch that. I never realized a lot of that stuff until, obviously, he mentioned it and I looked back at it. But there's a lot of points, and we do have to do underwater stuff. So the only reactor left is the one that's underwater. We need a submarine to get there, which we don't have. May as well revive everybody. Hello, Dutchie. May as well heal everyone as well. Not with that. That's a waste. There we go. That's a waste as well. Whatever. Righty-ho. Everyone's here. You're there. You're level 8 now. He appears to be quite content with his ability to fly. Just says wanna go instead of screaming at us. Oh my god, I'm flying a plane. An airship, actually. A plane ship. There's a pool of thing where Junon used to be. Not Junon, Mediel. Oh, that's not a button. I do this every time. Learn how to fly, you noob. So we have to go to an underwater reactor. Don't actually remember where that underwater reactor is, but I believe in order to do that, where's this? It's over here. We have to start at this place. Whatever this place is called, I can't actually remember. I believe we can go down. There we go. I want to try and land as close as physically possible. Also, I can do this lovely thing. It makes little poofs. Poofies! Poofy, 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 poofy. Alright, anyway. Done making poofs now. We'll go back, land. There we go. However, because I like cliffhangers, and we sat there and did bajillions of nothing forever and ever, we're gonna end set. Why are we ending the set? Because I am now tired because of that really long sequence in which I fell asleep multiple times. Hooray! So we'll continue with our journey to destroy the last reactor. I don't actually know if we're destroying them. Whatever, go to the last reactor. Underwater. Which apparently it's underwater according to Ian. Who knew? And I'll see you all next time. So adios, my amigos. Mi amigos? My amigos? Spanish, hooray!